Copyright that, YouTube. Good evening, everybody. How are you all in the world of Saturday night? And it is time for Saturday Night Reaver, the Dystopian Wars. Follow up to the ever successful Saturday Night Reaver, Horus Heresy, and Adeptus Satanicus. Much better. Yes. Reason for that little flurry there was I was going through some of my videos on my YouTube in the YouTube studio, and I've probably mentioned before that I've had a couple where copyright issues where I'm playing music as I come in, and so like there's been one video that has been basically pulled because of copyright. And admittedly, I had it playing for about a minute. You're only meant to do it for about 10 seconds, from what I believe. So that's why I normally, but obviously, but you listen to the music, you get carried away, and it's like, oh my gosh. And yeah, so for the time being, I'm going to come in and just do some like hurrah and stuff. And Luke is first as always. I noticed he was first a long time ago. In fact, as soon as I put the stream up, made a mention, and he just jumped in there. And Galmeg, hello, dude. Welcome back. How are you? What are you hobbying tonight? Because you was doing, was it? You was telling us about the your Horus Heresy stuff the other day, but you was doing Primaris. I think you was working on at the time, if the memory serves correctly. But yes, so tonight, Dystopian Wars. I know some of you have seen Injured Phil has snuck in because he knows there's Dystopian Wars, and he's gone with the capital first with 3 exclamation marks. 3 is the important number of here, because any more than that, then it's just pure sluttiness. But yes, welcome. And you are all right, excellent. You're still working on your Primaris. Yeah, so I did post up a picture today, and that is of this little fellow. So this is the Britannia. Oh, go over that. Britannia class battleship for Dystopian Wars, and I've sort of magnetised the turrets there. On there, I've got other weapons which obviously you was watching. I was magnetising anyway. So yeah, so that's all sort of pretty much done, apart from a little bit of touching up here and there and everywhere. But yeah, I'm really liking some of these models. They're just really cool looking. Look at that. It's there's a sweet looking battleship. Torpedo tubes. Let's go pew pew. But yeah, it's really good, and that's like mostly is just resin, one piece as well. So the only things that are plastic on this are the turret weapons, the chimney stacks, and this top section here. So the command, like the bridge, basically. So from there down is just all solid resin, one piece resin slab of crown. What was the word? Superiority of the seas. But yeah, it's really nice, and as I say, it's turned out a lot better than I'd actually initially hoped. So that's all good. Also touched up. I've basically finished my Hell Blasters for all my HS stuff is fixed, so I'm working on that now. I only finished 1 mini of it for it at this point. Well, we've got plenty of time. So this is the helicarrier type Avalon carrier. I'll have to lift this up a sec. There you go. So focus. So yeah, I went over this some more from the other day, where I merely started it, and I've been doing a lot more details on this. So adding in the little extra red accents, because I've seen one that Dad's painted, who's like the lead painter for War Cradle, and he painted these bits here red. It was only a work in progress, I think. The only picture I've seen that he'd done, but I don't know. I didn't want to go OTT red, but yeah, just a little bit here and there, and obviously the superstructure up there. But I'm really quite pleased with how this is panned out. The wood. So unfortunately, the lighting was a bit poo. So I've just done a little bit of roughing up on areas with the wood, with shade and dry brushing. Little wood planks down the side as well. Rear turrets and stuff. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I say different from the norm. The gold, and so the gold's just really straightforward, just Retributor and Liberator really, and wash over. So I've already just, whilst prepping for the this whole extravaganza of painting, I did start with the ones I've already painted, because they don't, colour wise, I've done something different with them than what I did with the battleship. So the little destroy dudes, so they're just still actually drying a little bit, because I just went over there with some watered down Agrax, the Agincourt class bombardment cruiser, and the Hotspur class support carrier. With the Avalon set, you not only get the Avalon carrier, you get 2 sprues which have these dudes on. So you've got 2 sprues with the Hotspur and options for the lighter cruisers, the support cruisers, as well as the Excalibur. So I've got another 4 of these, and another 2 of these, whichever way I want to do, because you can build three. As I said, magic number. You can build 3 of these variants. So you have the Agincourt, which is the bombardment with a massive mortar, and the Hotspur. The third one is the Athelstan, which is like a missile launcher ship. But what I'll probably do is just repeat these and have another Agincourt and another Hotspur, because you can, when you're building fleets, you can have a second one, or up to 3, I think, in most of the cruisers, which I only learn after the fact. So yeah, and also on this sprue, you also have another submarine, Morgana class submarine, which looks like that once finished, with the big sawy thingy underneath. Take out ships from beneath with the saw. They have a character one called the Nautilus, strangely, so obviously Captain Nemo. Luke's working on his fleet, and thank you very much, Engine Philip. Yes. So I've got to build some more of them. I've already built with the Britannia kit, you get some frigates. So these are Caliburn frigates. So you get 4 of them. They're all primed and ready to go, so I can paint them probably tonight. Also, with the Avalon kit, you get the Prydain, which is a floaty ship. Floaty. So we'll pop some magnets into there at some point. You get 2 of them, 2 Prydain. So they're like flying cruisers. You also get 2 Tintagel ships, craft. They have rockets on there. These can have rockets, heavy rockets, or the like these things, like that. Oh, just bounced off and landed on that. Well done. So you got them, and then you also get in that kit 4 Saxon class sort of fighter bomber thingy, or bomber thingies. I'm not exactly sure. A lot of reconnaissance, I don't know, but they come with torpedo launcher thingies, or they could be missiles. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think they're missiles. Yeah, they're missile pods on, same as what these are. So they've got 360 arcs on these, and yes. So there, that's what the rest of. So that one box set, you've got all that, the Avalon, 2 of the cruiser classes, and 4 of the Excaliburs. So it's not a bad little kit, to be fair. So therefore, I primed them about 40 minutes ago. So they might get some loving tonight as well. Also, I primed the bases that they come with, so that's the sort of base you get. So I just obviously paint them. I did paint these ones. These came with the first kit I got, which was the support thing. These little SRSs, I think they're called. So little fighter squadron type things. So they launch off the carriers, and then they can do little defensive or attacking type of stuff. Yeah, Caliburn, not Caliban. I knew he was like that. Oh, Caliburn. Caliburn. So I've got another two of these. Well, to do. So that's 4 in total tokens. And these are the bases for the Prydain, Saxons, and Tintagel, and Big Dude. So again, might try and get on with them as well. But yes, how's you been for the last couple of days? I know it was only Wednesday, but you know, lots of things can happen in a couple of days. Yeah, so these are the other ones. So these are all prepped for painting as well. So that is the Lancelot class heavy cruiser, sorry, and this is the Albion class cruiser. So these came in with the Britannia as the support. So you had the Britannia, 2 cruisers, and 4 frigates in its box set. But you can make about 4 or 5 different ships. So you can see here that's got a shorter prow compared to the Lancelot, and it's a whole different sort of ball game. There's so much to choose from. So you can have a monitor. There's a command cruiser. There's a couple of other ones you can do. So basically, like they'll have like one will have more of the stacks, exhaust stacks, or too many stacks, and so on and so forth. Or it might only have one thing at the front. It might have that at the front, and because that's a cannon, that is a turret, and that's a heavy turret, which that, and then obviously you can have one on the aft. So you could do some nice broadside action perhaps, because these here are also broadside cannons. So there's lots of stuff to be shooting with. Sorry. So yes. Oh yes. So yeah, it's all progressing nicely, really. So get these out of the way, and we'll probably continue with those. Just make sure that they're safe and sound out of the way. So we know Luke's doing his enlightened ships. Rob, who's not about at the moment, he might be on, who knows. He is got himself some ships for the Empire faction, so he got them. They delivered from Wayland today, so he might be on and building them today. Who knows? Who knows? Who actually knows what people do in their hobby times? Right, so looks like I've got a to big magnets down. What's an MM? What, M&Ms? You got M&Ms? Share your M&Ms. So I don't know what that was. Sorry. That's weird. What am I doing? I don't know. Ah, right. What size magnets did you get? As I said, the ones that I just had lying around, which were these ones are 3mm. So you would have assumed that all the fixtures were similar size. And so that is a big assumption. Touch that up. What am I going to do? Where's my retributor? Retributor. So yeah, so things happening in the world. What's happening in the world? Lots of stuff happening in the world. Yeah, so with these, I think the plan is that. Oh, you got 5mm. Oh, yeah, they're probably a little bit bigger than what you need. Were they ones you just had, or did you order them in? So I was ordering, because I only got these, the magnets that fit these were, as I said to you the other night, was a misorder. It wasn't, well, it wasn't a misorder, it wasn't a mistake on my part. I got sent them. I was after smaller magnet. I was after a 2x1. They sent me in like 100 3x1. So they were all like sitting in a little magnet place. I'll get this Retributor down first because I will be going over it all with my Agrax mix. And then I'll go over that with the Retributor. And then it's all a case of tidying up bits that you've made mistakes on, basically. This is the process that I've always sort of evolved into, pretty much, over the course of years. I don't paint like battle how was it, like parade ground style. I like my stuff, you know, lived in, used and abused, and you know, has seen action. So I'm sure Rob and his empire will be sort of done by the weekend. Yeah, Phil, do you, with your magnets, are you using 3x1s? Yeah, well, you're a better painter. Oh, battle ready, then paint something else. Yeah, it's I don't go like crazy, like my friend Spence, Spen paints, because he does like so much like chipping and, you know, streaking grime on his stuff. They sort of that's his aesthetic. You know, it is proper sort of like you'd expect that suit of armor has been through so much sort of muck and gunk and all sorts of things have hit it and chipped away its paint and stuff like that. And it's really effective how he does his, and that's his style. That's what he's known for. I just paint stuff. my point is I never weather out. You do lots of sort of weathering. You might not call it weathering, but it looks weathered. Max size is 4x1. Ah. I just use 3x1. Was I would use 3x1. I've got about 200 3x2s. And that was the thing, I had a load of 3x1s. So yeah, we had the Sky engineer come round on Thursday. Really nice guy, really helpful, friendly and stuff. He changed the box, the wall socket box, sorted us out a new router, which he was like a bit concerned because he said like apparently you had one 6 months ago, but I've just done the test and this one is like 6 years old. So he sorted that out, deleted some stuff off the hard drive. Like there was 200, it was like 198 gig of Impractical Jokers episodes that was on the Skybox. So you got rid of that and some other bits and pieces. Now when testing the internet, he said, right, I've got all that sorted, but I found that there is actually a fault on the line coming into the house. So he booked in for an open reach engineer to come along and sort that out, and that's happening Tuesday. Because the upload has been a lot better. So like when you do speed tests, obviously you've got to download and upload. The upload is what dictates being able to stream and like Zoom and stuff. So before coming on tonight, or actually before I actually set up the preview type thing, I was testing the what the Wi-Fi was like, basically the bandwidth, and yeah, the upload was not that great. So it was a quick turn it off, on again, and we're here now. What's going on? Right. Would 2x1 work? Only one I can get for tomorrow. No. No, for me, 3x1 just about sits in there. So that's a 3x1 in the hole. So I'm assuming that 4x1 would sit into that hole on the underside. Hey, Mellow Shade, fancy meeting you here. Fair needs a rise and all that. Evening. Everyone doing okay? Yes. So as you can see, I've got two shippy whippies there. Off screen, I've re-washed these dudes because they weren't matching up with that dude. So the old Britannia. So yes, everything is coming along nicely. Thank you very much. See, 4x1 and underside. Yeah, because with these, I'm literally just sort of plopping them in and just tapping them a little bit down so they fit in there. But those where I took the nubbing off the bottom, and that's just a magnet. That's it. Bye. And that's making use of all those 3x1 magnets that I've got. Oh, yeah, that's much appreciated. Thank you very much. Was that on Twitter or Thingy? Or on other social medias? Yeah, it was. I'll say it's been nice little different hobby. And I say it's partly Phil's fault because he was banging on about this freaking game he was playing with one of our friends, Paul. And it was just at the time when I was listening to some podcasts about the Battle for the Atlantic and all that on the old Facebook. And yeah, so I was in the sort of the mood for naval battles and warfare, and yeah, so I had a look around at some of the different kits and stuff. Phil has taste. He must have taste. He's friends with me. And yeah, I think because again, because the podcast was dealing with like the Royal Navy side of things, I thought, well, I've got to go for the Crown really, but I did want to have a little look beforehand at other ships and other like factions. But yeah, I kind of I was kind of sold on these guys. It was purely because I would say the Agincourt because I just thought that was, you know me, I like strange and unique sort of things, and that's a pretty big old gun, the old mortar, and I like the idea of carriers. So little carrier there, and then obviously the Avalon came about as well. So I'm pretty pleased with how this little dude is turning out. I actually had to move the camera up to see it. So it's a big old chunk. So yeah, but I looking through the Orbat, past couple of days. I've literally just spent so much time looking through the Orbat, and getting an idea of what kind of sort of shape I would like my forces to be. So, as I say, I've got the one Albion, I've got the one Lancelot. I will get some more, and I'll probably like what I'm going to do with the light support cruisers. Just double up with what I've got, just to make it a little bit more, more. I've got a few subs. Maybe at a later date, look at some of the Canadian ships. And all that jazz. So you're actually hobbying today, Mellow Shade? And I was actually surprised when I was looking at the bottom, like the Orbat, and going down the bottom, and then I saw the Gloriana. I thought, oh, and the Indiaman, which is still the Gloriana, isn't it? But like with that sort of thing, you do variations on it and all that sort of thing. But obviously the Gloriana, which has got the extra turrets there, I think it looks longer or longerer. Starting your 2 Reavers tonight. Awesome. It's always good to hear Titan stuff going on. When I was picking up the... what was I picking up? Yeah, it was when I picked up the Avalon box set the other night. I think that was Monday night I was there. Yeah, it was, yeah, because that's when I got the Avalon. I also picked up another starter set because they had one on the shelf there, all sitting there alone, and I thought, well, if I get that starter set, that will take my total number of Titans to 140. So it came home with me. That's that. Flying saucers, please, or more whales. Yeah, that idea that ship of yours fires whales is just bonkers, and I love it. Yeah, so Rob, who's normally on here as well, after Wednesday night stream, decided to get himself some Empire box sets from Wayland. So he ordered them, and they turned up this morning. So he's probably been playing with them. Don't know if he'll be on tonight. He might be, he might not, he might forget. He's an old man. Who knows? I say he's old man. He's my age, I think. I think I actually might be a couple of days older than him. So yeah, he is an old man. Yeah, I know. Don't feel it though. Well, I do when I stand up and start walking. The old knees have been, especially in the cold, my knees really bloody ache. being in the flooring trade, that's no surprise really. I'm just noticed the little door there. That's so cool. Yeah, so it's the also watched a oh, what's his face? It was Justin um, from On the Tabletop. Oh, yeah, On the Tabletop? Or it used to be Beasts of War, whatever they are. Yeah, little door. Little door. Focus. Oh, it's trying to. Well, the door, little door's there. Yeah, the camera doesn't really has a really hard time focusing on detail that small. The littlest door, tiny door. Oh, bloody hell! That's not good. Well, I hope he pulls through on that and gets back up to enjoying life rather than being in a hospital or wherever he's recuperating. I don't know. Well, no. Well, he's one of the Beasts of War team. So back in the early days of the Whaling Games hobby centre, gaming centre, and Beast of War was based out of there when I was doing the Tabletop Nation side of thing. He would be down there. I always remember it was the first game of Apocalypse that I organised with Games and Theory. I think Lee, I think you might have been there for that one. It was the one where it was the first one I organised was meant to be Imperial versus Chaos, and no Chaos players turned up. So we had a lot of Imperials fighting against a combination army of Eldar, Tyranids, Necrons, and Catachans. um, I think he was there for the first one. I know he was there for the big one that I organised. Because you came and dropped your bloody scorpion right in front of Iracundus and tried and almost killed me with your bloody pulsars. But we were there, and it was a Wednesday, and we had I spoke to Stuart, and he said, because you weren't like Wayland weren't open during the days, so we had to put down £100 deposit, which we got back from turning up, basically. Yeah, they are. They are, Calmeg. It's just that there wasn't enough play. Like organising online hobby groups for meetups is quite stressful and quite hard going. And it was when one of the, I think this is going back to like maybe 6th edition, because this is about 2012. No, actually, it was before then, I think. Or was it? It might have been 2012. It was early teens when this was, and the Chaos Codex had come out a couple of months earlier, and so we organised that because obviously all the enthusiasm for Chaos was out and about. So we thought, oh, we'll do a big game, meet up, and have Imperial versus Chaos. Keep it simple. And not one Chaos player turned up. And so with the people that had turned up, we had, as I said, on one side, on the Loyalist side, we had my mate Mike with his Imperial Guard. Then you had Dave Bottomley with his Blood Angels. You had Richard Wood with his Dark Angels, and you had me with my Raptors. And on the other side, as I said, you had a load of Catchhands, because they're probably easiest to put out as traitor. Necrons, Lee with his Eldar, he was you. He was down there for that one, and Pygmy, James Pygmy McClintock with his Tyranids. And whilst we were playing, as I said, this is during the day, so it was like a closed. We had one. It was what's his name? Scott. Scott was left in charge of the shop and us to supervise us and to serve us drinks and stuff if need be, as well as to take our money, because we was buying stuff while we were there as well. So yeah, they got a lot of money. I think it was about 200 quid out of all concerned that were there, because I know Dave dropped the £100. He paid the £100 deposit, and he was just using it to buy models. So he did that anyway, and then everyone else was chipping in buying stuff. And whilst we were playing, we had bloody hell, his name's Justin came down, and the other can't remember. Is it not Wayne? Is it? Who's the other dude that used to be Beast of War? The main big dude. He came down, and somebody else from Wayland, it wasn't. I think Stuart did pop down at the time, but it wasn't Stuart who was with them, and they were trying out X-Wing. So they had X-Wing playing next to our stuff, and I remember this particularly because they're doing a Star Wars thing on that little board they had made, playing it, and I had a pint sitting on the table, and Warren, that's it, yeah, Warren. Warren looked over and he's gone, "What's that pint doing on the table?" And I turned to him and said, "I believe it's deep striking." And I just found that hilarious. But a few other times when I was coming down to Wayland, I met, like, Justin was coming downstairs, and then there was the met him at Salute a couple of times when I started going to Salute, and it was one of the last Games Day I saw them. They were going around doing their thing down Games Day, the last Games Day, which was NIA, the National, whatever it was, not the NEC, because the NEC was before. The last one was at the other place that was in central Nottingham, not Nottingham, Birmingham, which I can never remember the name of it. Yeah, Lloyd was the one I never really spoke to, but Justin and Warren, I sort of had interactions with over the course of years. But it's what it is. But yeah, I hope Justin gets on all right. He seemed to be having fun on the battle report I saw, where they were saying that, like, a how to play Dystopian Wars, and Justin was Imperium, and the other guy was playing Crown, and it really was quite interesting to watch. Oh, I missed that bit. But yeah, we used to, I used to organise these little meetups at Warhammer, at Wayland. For another hobby group, I used to organise meetups at Warhammer World and do some gaming up there, which is always fun. But Wayland was where we used to do the Apocalypse games. I think we done that big one. We did was, I think, about 40,000 points in total. Yeah, it's somebody I didn't recognise. It was with them, so. But then again, a lot of the staff in the store now I don't recognise. That's not that what I've got to do on this. Do the tubes. Started driving lessons again to be ready for my test in May. Hopefully, join you at Warhammer World soon. Yeah, that'd be cool. So we haven't done, well, I haven't done a gaming day up at Warhammer World for a while, to be fair. But yeah, once you pass it, then it does open up a lot of avenues, but then obviously it comes at a cost because you got to buy a car and insure it and all that jazz. And I always used to be a little bit sort of, worried about driving up to Warhammer World, but now it is, just second nature. Just jump in the car. Oh, company car. Yeah, no, that'd be very handy then. Get all the stuff in the back. Out on the motorway. So motorway driving is a little bit scary to start with, but you get over it soon enough. Just keep your awareness up. You'll be fine. Where's... There you are. Yes, if you're enjoying this content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Got to do it. Got to mention it. Yeah, I was just saying. I was looking through my on YouTube creator, where he gets all the like analytics and all that sort of stuff, and I was looking through and like it was like, why is there only like 98% likes on a video sort of thing? And because you get like a couple of people unliking, but one of my short videos, the one where I have the Imperator from last year's Titan Walk, Milton Keynes, which has like had thousands of views, and it's like 13 people have unliked it. It's like, why? It's just a video showing a Titan. But yeah, it was just weird. I just find it bizarre. Yeah, that dude, he spent 3 years building something. I'm gonna hate it. Yeah, bonkers. Nice. So yeah, having a car as well, being able to sort of like go off to events a lot easier under your own steam is actually quite a good thing. Yay, Rob's here. We were just talking about you. Well, about 20 minutes ago. Obviously, time delay to your area. Yeah, we were just saying about how you've jumped in with the Empire. Are you actually working on them at the moment, mate? Rob, it's always good when it's talking about you. You're not Phil. It looks very quiet. What are you doing, boy? Or did he pop out? We got we got our making subs. Cannons fired. I'll just build them all, so we'll be painting tomorrow. Nice. Kind of surprised that you haven't finished them. Filipito, you're all right for Wednesday, aren't you? They are fun little models. Oh, hello. Hello, Philip. Or Che Gavessa. How are you, buddy? Guten Abend. Or Guten Abend, sorry. It's all about the bits. It is indeed. I think that's obviously like where certain things with like GW recently not covered themselves in glory with the assault marine upgrades in particular. So sometimes they just do some amazing things and then they shoot themselves in the foot. Ah, excellent, excellent. Are you hobbying tonight, or are you just chilling, relaxing with the good lady? My beer of choice is actually German. Warsteiner. Oh. Obviously, because it has war in the title, and Steiner. I love it. So normally I'm drinking big bottles of Bud, but I recently, well, about 6 months ago, discovered this in a Tesco's. I was going around to my friend's house to visit after work, and they were doing dinner. So it's Crystal McDowell and Rob, her partner, and I stopped off, got some sweets, and I got some beers for me and Rob, and I got some wine for Crystal. And I saw that and I thought, oh, Warsteiner, that sounds cool. And I got that and I thought, oh, it's quite nice. But yeah, and I was looking up Warsteiner because we can only get it in like certain supermarkets over here. And I actually found that there is a Warsteiner World at their brewery out in Germany, which is, I think, about 20 miles west of Dusseldorf. But yeah, I actually really like that. This is the channel's official beer for now because I can get hold of it. Yes. So I'm not sponsored by Warsteiner, but I endorse Warsteiner. Chilling, haven't done a lot of hobbying lately. Dude, you're just like always hobbying. Or just this is obviously do my Titans mostly, but at the moment this Dystopian Wars has my attention because I really like the idea. In a way, there's a sort of a segue from Titans, because Titans are walking battleships, and now I'm actually building battleships or cruisers in this. It's not sponsored yet. Yeah, I know. I'm amazed myself. Maybe because I'm just not of the right demographic or whatever it calls. Too old, grey beard, occasionally swears, drinking on channel. I don't tick a lot of boxes in that respect. But I have quite a good regular group of international viewers. Although at the moment, from the everyone here, I think most of us are UK based in chat here. Normally, a couple of people, like my mod Mouse isn't around at the moment, but she's out in the States. Edvin, who's not on tonight, he's Sweden. A couple of guys like Judge, he's US. There's Crimson, who's Boston, who turns up every now and again. He doesn't normally hang around that lot, but he pops in, says hi. G Steeler, who is out in, I think, Toronto. He's in Canada anyway, somewhere in Canada. I keep on forgetting whereabouts. But yeah, so we do have quite a few people. I was actually, again, when I was talking a little while ago about looking at my. I'm going to access it again now because it was quite bonkers, like where I can check like where people are viewing from. I can even do like, if the internet. There you go. Analytics. So audience. Ooh, I'll tell you what, we're almost up for 499.9 hours of viewing in the last 28 days. So that's not bad. Audience, where's what I want to see? I'll try and I'm still finding this quite. Yeah, so most of my viewers. Now, this is only for the last 28 days. Most of my viewers, 36.1% of viewers of all videos, so this is not just live or shorts or videos, are in the United States. 19.7 in the United Kingdom. 6.2 in Germany. 4.7% in Canada. 3.7 in Australia. So, and then the next highest after Australia is Spain, Russia, France, Poland, Italy, Mexico, Netherlands, the Philippines, Sweden, Thailand, Denmark, Ireland, New Zealand, Finland, and so on and so forth. So that's like quite bonkers. Top cities, London, surprise, but I think that covers a wide area. So yeah, Sydney is second, Melbourne third, Seattle, Chicago, LA, Dallas, New York, Brisbane, Houston. Then it's Paris. It was just like, oh my god, where are all these people watching it from? But yeah, it was. I spent a good sort of half an hour today just going through that. Canada isn't real. Don't let G Steeler find that out, because he lives there. They could all be in the UK using VPN. We just don't know. But at the moment, we are for the last 28 days, almost 500 hours of viewing is not bad going. Of I think a couple of like the Titan Walk, like Lee's Imperator has probably helped because that's my most viewed video ever at present. I thought Australian wasn't real. Funnily enough, with Australia, back in the early days of Xbox Online, playing games and stuff, for some reason, when you're playing with guys from all over the world, like the British people didn't, but anyone from like America for some reason thought I was Australian. I thought you was Australian. What do you mean I'm Australian? How can I be Australian? I sound nothing like an Australian. Australia. Having visited Australia back in, well, bloody hell, 21 years ago, like now, I was in Australia. So I flew out on the 28th of January, spent 2 weeks in Queensland, mostly in the Cairns region, and we landed early hours, got through the check-in. It was just, there was a massive thing over in England because of foot and mouth. So there was being extra, like, double checky careful with anyone from the UK, especially like, you know, have you walked in fields? Have you been near cows? You know, that's sort of, and they were questions that was asked by the immigration. And yeah, so we're over there, got all our bags and all that, and in the foyer of Cairns Airport, and this is like 6 a.m. by the time we've cleared through everything. And we phoned, because they had like all these like cards for all the hostels and like places you could go and stay, and they come and collect you from the airport because they're getting somebody paying for a room. So we phoned up this one place. They said, all right, yeah, don't worry, we'll get someone out here in about 20 minutes. So, okay, no worries. So we thought, okay, well, it's been about 10, 15 minutes. Should we go wait outside? The sun is creeping over the mountains in the distance. We've walked out of the doors, the doors open. We've walked outside, and oh my God, it was like walking into a sauna. And I'm going, but it's only like 6:30 in the morning. How can it be so hot? It was like, I thought, I'm not going to survive in this temperature. It's just too warm at this time of day. You know, the sun's not even properly up, and it is just so hot. And being in Queensland, which is a like rainforest territory, you're hot and then wet in no time. So that was interesting. I survived, obviously, because I wouldn't be here now. And then for the next 3 weeks, after our escapades, where done a bit of driving around up and down the coast, done some scuba diving with some sharks. The sharks weren't, well, you know, sharks have a tendency to swim around. I was meant to be just scuba diving or snorkeling even, sorry, around like the Great Barrier Reef, which I was. We was on this lovely boat. I was snorkeling away, and then a white-tipped reef shark just turns up and goes, "Hi, how are you? I'm a shark." And like, oh yeah, there's a white-tipped reef shark over there, like about 3 meters from me. And I'm like, oh, okay. What do we do now? And, no, don't worry, just piss off. So yeah, and he did. He just went around, and I saw a massive clam. This clam was like, must have been about 5 foot wide. I'm telling you, it was like, as I looked down, huge clam. I wouldn't have been able to dive down to it. It was about 30 foot down, and I weren't that I was new to snorkeling because I've never really snorkeled. So I just thought, well, I'm not going near that fucking thing because it'll, pardon my French, I will probably get clamped by the clam. But yeah, saw some crocodiles and held, oh no, the snake. Oh, I raced some cane toads, which is a big thing. And I was really happy because I beat like a 7-year-old kid. But I thought, like, in your face, you know, typically, I won. Also decided to jump. Well, I say jump, fall out of an aircraft at 14,000 feet. Initially, I was only going to be doing a 10,000 foot tandem jump, but what they do, they pick you up as they go to collect the previous group. And it was 3 Americans that came down. So we're sitting there watching these Americans come down on their tandem parachutes, sort of thing, with these attached Australians. They've landed, and then they're all high-fiving the crap out of each other and going, whoa, yeah, and all that sort of stuff. 14K, man, 14K! And just giving it really large. And obviously being English, we're quite reserved. So we got onto the bus and we're sitting at the back and they're still going at it. Going, whoa, yeah, man, we done 14K, yeah, what a rush. And all that. And they turn to me and go, you going to do a jump, dude? I went, yeah. He goes, how high are you going? I said, 14K. And the other half goes, you're not doing 40K, you're doing 10. I said, we're doing 14K now. we can't let these guys have one over us, even though they're not going to be there. So I done 14K instead, and yeah, that was interesting. You just get to a point where you just go, oh well, I'm about to fall out of an airplane. At least I've got a nausea attached. But yeah, that was and that was a spur in the moment thing as well, because my then partner had been backpacking before and had done several parachute jumps, or falling out of an airplane. So yes, got to go again, have fun. Yeah, no worries, dude. Well, welcome, and lovely to speak to you again, or speak at you again. Funny enough, I was talking about AT&T Advanced Tau Tactica today with a customer because of I can't remember his name. One of the other mods, Doom, whatever his name was. When we were there, or when I was on there more active, and he was US military, and he was flying the drones out of USA Air Base in Arizona. Because this guy I was talking to in my store was a drone operator for well, he's a fireman, but his other job, because fireman, like part-time fireman, so his other job though is doing like sort of installation stuff. Doombringer, that's it, yeah. Yeah, because he was USAF and flying drones. So I always remember him. Obviously, I remember you more because, like, you was part of the crew of the AT&T bunch. And funnily enough, actually, remember Mauler UK, who was on there? He's actually a friend of mine in real life. I didn't know that was his tag. I met him afterwards, but he actually lives about 2 miles that way from me. Because when you came over to the UK and done a meet-up, and Mauler was on there, I did not know it was Matt. Matt Clark. Crazy. I've known him like through Facebook friends. I've known him for about 10 years. Yeah, because he was definitely up at your because you came over to the UK, didn't you? Several years ago, and you all met up at Warhammer World. But Mauler is actually a real life friend of mine. Right, so let's make sure. Let's touch up the gold a little bit. Yeah, so those little meetups are always good, and kind of shame that I couldn't meet up. And also, I don't think I knew about it until too late. Anyway, the world is very small, my friend. But you go and get your stuff done, whatever you need to do. As I said, thank you for dropping in. It's lovely to chat at you. And yeah, we're normally here for Wednesday nights and Saturday evenings. So before you go, don't forget to like and subscribe. I've got to ask these and say these things. But yeah, actually, customer services side of things. One of my friends, after the last hobby hangout, lovely story time. Yeah, no worries. See you soon, Philip. Have a good one. He was actually saying about in the box where you actually see me. He was saying that he would like it a little bit bigger. Now I'm not sure if I can actually do that, because technically computer. That's why I'm friends with Phil. Phil handles all my technical needs. Well, hardware needs anyway. But yeah, he was saying about having a bigger one of me, because he said, like, it would be nice to actually see you more as well as the models that you're painting. So is that a thing that people? This is like an on the spur review, ASCII poll sort of thing, because I'm all about giving the best quality performance and show for my viewers, my beloved viewers. I've lost, unless I left it inside. I must have left it inside. Damn it. Right, 2 secs, because I need to get a refill of beer. It has actually been raining outside as well, so I just realised these ones aren't twist-offs. That's the downside of these. They're not twist-offs, and I don't have a bottle opener with me. I don't have a brick wall near enough. So, oh yeah, clippers, perfect. Can we make it smaller? Screw you too, hippie. Right. Cheeky bitch. Oh. So this is Agrax with water. Oop. Get that on there. Yeah, I don't know if Luke, if you've on your Facebook, have you signed up or started following War Cradle? Because Daz has been doing some rather nice, enlightened stuff. No, I think it's a piece of shit. I liked it. I did. Can't remember if it was on Twitter or if it must have been on Instagram. You don't do Twitter, do you? So yeah, I definitely saw it. I was at work, so I only liked it. Was that a commission though? Oh, Phil, you are still available for Wednesday's breakfast date, aren't you? Because we've got Luke coming over for breakfast. Just making sure. Oh yeah, because they went on pre-order today, didn't it? I pre-ordered what's his face? The Alpha Legion sniper dude. Me and names today are not working. So that was the last because I had 20, I think £19 in voucher credit because I got a £40 voucher for Christmas for Forge World, so I used the balancer for that. Exodus, thank you very much. Did you get it as well, Rob? Yeah, I did consider the heads, but I thought, I don't know, because I've got, you know, I've already done heads. I just thought, I don't know. I just thought I might be just getting, you know, old and wise with my money or something. I don't know. Going out splashing out. I've got other Titans to build. All that Titan work. And I've already done an Exodus, haven't I? Movement of your people. I'm doing multiple ships. I have a range of older heads as well. I'm going to use them for veterans and command squads. Yeah, that's fair. Where are you now? Where are you now? There you are. The old Battleship Grey, my friend. Or Standard Mechanicus Grey. Ooh. I'm going to copy the website art for the Japanese ships going with Jade Green as the main colour. That's going to look awesome. Like Phil's Russians, Commonwealth ships. They're actually pretty gnarly. Sort of like is it like a beigey sort of colour you've got with them? Like a sandy colour? Filbert? Yes, you've got Russian fleet, Commonwealth. Are they? Looks sandy grey. Sandy grey? It looks sandy. Thought it'd run aground. No, honestly, I thought it was like a sandy colour that you got. It was a really. It wasn't. It didn't look like a Battleship Grey to my eye. It might have been the light, trick of the light. Obviously, the sun was shining through the windows. It was a beautiful day. Yeah, your Sultan are very metrosexual, very comfortable. But no, they actually look really cool as well. The little catamarans. Right. Plan B. I do apologise for the sound increase because I've got a hairdryer. I do apologise for that brief noisy moment. I need to just get them last bits dried off on that so I can dry brush it while I've got the brush out. So Pommy. Right. See what I'm doing now. So I'm going to go over. So where I've washed over everything, it's now to go over that with the other colours. If I could find my brush. No. Yes. You can see I'm just going over part of it, leaving the darker areas darker. Let's get those little bitties. Brightens this up nicely. Just letting the shades do the work, and then just brighten up the higher parts to give you a nice bit of contrast. And just get some more depth to the colour. through that quite nicely. Regularly washing the brush because red is a bugger. That's how you kill your brushes. Kill them with red. It does make you wonder why, because I'm sure some of you have noticed Agrax isn't what it used to be. It does have more of a glossiness to some of the more modern versions of Agrax, which isn't necessarily for the good of the paint. Beep. So everyone's in the zone with their hobby, which is good. Chewing through these like there's no tomorrow, which is also good. Also bad as well, because obviously you paint too quickly. Get through all your stuff. And once that towering wall of shame, grey wall of shame's gone, what are you going to do? No more grey wall. Yeah, that's true. We live in the consumer age. Always buying more stuff. I've been having to think about with the like rotor aerial units that these guys have. It's like coloration. Like, do you paint them the same as the battleships, or don't know. We have to look at the box art. Get a better idea of what to do. Just getting it all done and getting it all sorted. Because you want your sort of fleet to be, you know, I want it to be like realistically set up. If you know what I mean, like, yeah, it's got a sort of that hint of realism about it, even though there's floaty frigates and the like. It's the same with the Empire. Chinese and Japanese are in the same faction but still separate, and they have different schemes. Yeah, but they'll look really nice on the table though, because you know, with the way that you paint, you'll do an excellent job of bringing them to life. But they'll sort of like complement each other. Like Chinese would be a bit more colourful and have all pagodas. Red is a big colour for Chinese as well. You know, red is a lucky colour. And if you're going to go with a jade green for the Japanese, red and green goes together quite well, you know. So they would actually complement each other in that respect. Squids will be dark red. Oh, that's fair. I think they deserve to be dark red. Oh, bugger. Oh, bugger. So that was a torpedo launcher that I did last night. Let's get these. Ships out of the way. All the generators do fun stuff as well. Yes, yes. There was several generators type things. So there's lots of little, diverse things within the game as well. So like obviously the ships, different sort of capabilities, weapon loadouts, weapons as well, because obviously certain factions have different weapons. So there's I think like standard stuff is going to be like torpedoes and broadsides are pretty standard for what they've got, but it's like all the different sort of like heavy torpedo, heavy rocket, heavy gun battery, heavy broadside. So they're pretty standard, but then it's when you've got like special faction weapons, which will add a little bit more sort of diversity within the game. On the weapon, like what are the ship types as well? Fast and nimble, or hardy carriers as well. Same with the generators. Most weapons are usable at only 2 or 3 guns are unique for each faction. Well, probably more than 2 and 3. But not too many. Well, it adds more diversity. So not just the colour schemes, types of ships, and all that jazz. So at least it adds something a little bit more special and makes factions interesting as well. is that the Imperium one, or the one like the all cannon one, or is that the Commonwealth, like Russian-y type one that Phil's got? Floating artillery. Cheers, Carmick, for dropping in again. Hope you've done well with your hobby and got your Primaris Hellblaster sorted out. See you again in the future streams. As I said, Wednesdays and Saturdays are standard, and hopefully the internet's going to continue being good for the foreseeable. So take care. Have a good one, buddy. Yeah, so those ones, obviously, that's the heavy battle cannon turrets things. They're the torpedoes, heavy torpedo launchers. So not only have you got torpedoes in the hull, torpedo tubes there, forward only, you've got 3 arcs to cover with heavy torpedo launcher. Brass. Actually, there's the Dystopian Wars. All back. Yeah, I was actually I was surprised with the identification stuff at the end of the Orbat. So where you've got, do it that way, preview there. So that thing, which is the Adventurer. So you've got turrets on the side there. You've got the 2 turrets there, plus turret at the back. The Avalon, the Camelot, which is the same base as that, but has, looks like extra shield duties on there. Then you have the Gloriana, which is pretty much the same as the Adventurer. Turrets on the side. Yeah, it's pretty much the same as the Adventurer. HMS Ark Royal, the Victory, the Protector, submarine aircraft carrier. So Canadian vessels there, the Bonaventure, Halifax, and Newfoundland, Picton, and Prydain, Lancelot, Hotspur. So yes, lots of nice, awesome ships to choose from. And that's what the ore bat is for. So you can actually search around, choose your ships, and build your fleet from there. So yes, all good in the hood. Plenty of variety. There's still lots of ships that have not yet released. Yes. Come on, it's only a model. Shush. It's a dream. It's only a dream. Yes, Monty Python, I know. Let's not go there, it's a silly place. I'll print some of these little jobbies while I'm here. While I'm making a mess in my fingers. Yes. You're almost done with the set. Well done. Focused, determined. done I built the aircraft aero units yesterday. And it's just like, you know, it's not that tricky and not that hard really to do. You know, it's surprising. There's a few like the Pride Dame was a little bit I don't know, it went together differently than other kits, sort of thing, especially like when you're doing the cleanup and stuff. So it's a lot more involved on that side of things. So I'm just putting on some knoll on these first. But I will be going over them with the old acrax afterwards. lots to clean up. That's all them done. Now, the problem I've got now is when I painted these bases, I think I used this paint, this contrast, but I'm not sure. I think I did. It looks familiar. with these bases, I sprayed them with grey cere, dry brushed with Corax white over it. I think I gave it a wash of Drakenhof after I'd done another dry brush over the top to get like the crest of the waves sort of thing, so it looks like a bit more lighter. Wish they all came with bases. I don't want to try painting these with the stands all together. That would have been madness, that tells you. You can base them all if you want. Normally I would be all for that, but I think they look better on a mat without them. I feel the same as well. Obviously, for the flying units, there's not a lot you can do because they're flying. They need to stand. But you know, without having an appropriate gaming mat, it's a bit hard to sort of go with a colour that you don't really know. Oh, get you back. I'm gonna go with the hairdryer again. Just hold on. So yes, that's them pretty much dry, but I'm going to take a step away from the base, get back onto these little buggers, and add some Agrex. Ay, 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 ay. Any bottle caps, exactly. It's not as if I don't have a lot of them. I use them for mixing, like for when I'm doing airbrushing. So yeah, just getting in the zone. and repaint. I like this colour better. Never be scared to go over something that you're not happy with. You might put time and effort into it, but if you're not happy with it, you can't leave it like that. The OCD will not play out for you. But something I didn't realise, going over that in correct white, it's all well and good, but that was grey sear with a dry brush of correct white. So I'm going to go over it with a puffer curry white to bring the colour back down, leave the correct on the top. Try and turn it back in similar to what the bases were. There's a lot of fucking about, pardon my French, but sometimes you have to do these sort of things. A blast with the head right. much just sticking the bases, sticking the airplanes to their little bases, like thus. Let's give that another little go over with some grass. Building mech guns still. Will they ever be finished, Phil? That's the question. I'm going to just finish the fleet. Nice. I'm going to cut the planes from the bases and mount them on the oh, dude. There's a bunch of people who have done this already. It looks cool. I think there's a company that sells them, mate. Not sure if people have cut them out. Just saw one post on a Facebook page where several people commented that they've done the same. Planes have room of free space around them. They do. They do at that. I don't know. I'm just skimming the surface on an attack run. Ooh. Well, if I take this off and take it for a walk, let's move. Ooh, oh, oh. It says let's move, and I can't move anything because everything is trapped. So I was just perched onto the actual base. So it's not glued. The base, the bottom of the base is obviously glued, but the that isn't. So yeah. Thank you, Philip. Pardon me, sorry. So that's some airplanes done. Ouch. I'm just doing this roughly to start because I'm going to go over that with the old Agrax anyway. So I was in such a rush to get home today after work that I forgot I had this piece of like this type of floor matting, vinyl flooring, sample tile, which was a very bluish sort of type of look to it. So I forgot that. I also forgot all the stuff that I bought to make dinner tonight with, which was a bit of a pain to say the least. So I had to stop off at another supermarket to pick up some other stuff and some more food for cooking dinner. But yeah, it would have been nice to have that mat, so I could actually put the ships on top and their little arrangements, and to have them looking awesome as such. But El Stupido forgot. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to do. Where are you known? Nony, nony, known. Nony, nony, known. we've got. Whew. So I didn't get started on the Caliburn frigates. So I'll put them to one side. So we've got some aerial units to do, but we did get the basing done, the touch-up painting on the 4 destroyers. Got the 4 tokens. Shut up, Phil. We got the Lancelot, we got the Hotspur, we got the Albion. Sorry, that's the Hotspur, that's the Agincourt. So ships. So destroyers, Albion, Lancelot, Hotspur, Agincourt, and the Britannia. We got some weapons painted up. We got some bases painted up. We got the SRS painted up. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with the way things have progressed this evening. The SRS. So that's 4 SRS. But loads of SRS token thingy, like the bases, but not the actual top bits. So yeah. Just making sure. Yeah. So yeah, that's a nice little flotilla so far. Low. So yes. Oh right, so okay. I did wonder, because I say you only got like ooh. So I've got 8 in there. That's another 6 plus 2, so I've had 16 bases. So I know, like the big carriers like that can pop out 8 bases a turn. These dudes can do 3 or 4. But that all makes sense now. So battle sharp. I think I'm going to call it there. It's almost 11:30. I got another early. I've got to drop Sam off to Whitechapel in the morning. So yes, I think that's been quite an interesting and productive evening of painting ships. Yes, otherwise we know where to put them. So yeah, thanks for tagging along, hanging out whilst you've been hobbying with everything. We're definitely on a bit of a Dystopian Wars trip at the moment, between several of us here. But yeah, it's I'm kind of liking how these little buggers are turning out. So yeah, so big yawn, big tired yawn. Right, so so's a lot today. No worries, Rob. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you, Filipito. Thank you, Luke, and Cal, who was here earlier on. Phil, who popped in. The other Phil as well. There's two Phils. There can't be two Phils, but there is. And anyone else who's been hiding in the background. Thank you for hanging out, and I hope that you've had as much fun as I have with the painting. So I'll see y'all on Wednesday night. So until then, I hope you have a wonderful rest of the weekend, and that I'll see you on Wednesday. Au revoir, arrivederci, guten Abend, Teddy Bies.